Hi everyone. I don't know who needs to hear this, but fear doesn't always come screaming at your face. Sometimes it just tiptoes into your head, wearing your voice, repeating old failures and pretending it's wisdom. Just as you're about to try something good, maybe something necessary, something you've always wanted, you just freeze. You replay worst case scenarios. You start asking yourself all sorts of questions. You start wondering if you're capable or ready or strong enough. Sometimes fear just makes you feel like you're not good enough for it. Yeah, it could be a case where you're protecting yourself, but let me tell you from experience that fear is hardly ever interested in your growth. On this episode of POLA's Nuggets, I'm going to walk you through what fear really is, why fear stays hidden in our wings, and how you can move forward without abandoning your joy. Because the truth is, you don't have to be fearless to be powerful. You just have to keep moving, just keep showing up. Even when fear sits in the front row, you have to keep showing up. So grab yourself a drink. I'll be right back with more details on how we can walk through fear as we journey through life. Welcome back. Fear isn't about survival nowadays. It shows up in many ways, in many situations we find ourselves in. Sometimes quietly, some other times with a microphone. That brings me to the question, what really is fear? I've come to nickname fear as false evidence appearing real. Fear is that voice in your head asking, am I good enough? Will I lose it all? Am I going to get in trouble? Will I get broke from not having enough money? And so many negative voices of fear in your head. This just goes to confirm that fear is in the mix of many things we do in our daily lives. When fear comes around, I ask myself, is this fear or is this danger? For people who've had some sort of traumatic experiences in life in a particular area, success in those areas doesn't always feel safe. Even joy can trigger panic in such situations. I've had moments where something beautiful finally arrives and fear creeps in and whispers, don't trust it. I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, I lived in fear on a daily basis for the first few months. I literally walked on eggshells. The whispers of, what if you lose this one like the previous pregnancies? What makes you think this is going to be different? What makes you think you will carry this one full term? All of these whispers of fear was because of the previous negative experiences that I had been through. That's what trauma does. It teaches us to flinch before celebration when you've been through a traumatic experience. But here's what I've learned. You don't always have to silence the fear. Just don't let fear silence you. Let joy happen. Let's talk about how fear shows up in the body. Because fear isn't just mental, it's also physical. Many times when I allow myself to be dominated by fear, I literally panic. So in such situation, I just say to myself, take a deep breath, change position and say out loud, this is a moment, it will pass. You don't have to necessarily push through fear. You can walk beside fear, hand on heart, and keep telling yourself out loud, this will pass. Because it's only going to be a moment. In many cultures and religion, fear isn't often named. It's usually wrapped in silence. Sometimes when fear hits, some questions often pop up in the head, especially if you're a person of faith or a believer in God. Questions like, can you pray about a situation and still panic? Can you trust God and still be afraid? Can you have faith and still fear? Here's my truth. As someone who's been tested many times on my journey to motherhood, I can confidently tell you that real courage doesn't erase emotions. It gives permission to breathe. There'll be times when you occasionally feel anxious about something that you've even prayed about, or worry about losing something precious. Something you've always wanted, you've got it, you're worried about losing it. It's okay. It doesn't make you a person of less faith. It just shows you're human with emotions. So don't beat yourself up. Don't worry about it. Just breathe and tell yourself out loud, this is a moment. It will pass. I am pleased to share with you today 5 things that have helped me cope or overcome fear as I journeyed through life. Number 1, as a person of faith, I personally stand on God's promises concerning that fear. Fear often lies, but God's word tells the truth, and I tell myself that God can be trusted. Number 2, talk to someone you trust about your fears. For example, anytime fear creeps into my head, I talk about it with my husband. Talking about your fears with someone you trust just has a way of easing your mind, and from such conversations, possible solutions may appear. It's very important to talk. Number 3, create positive affirmations relating to your fear and repeat them to yourself regularly. For example, when I was pregnant with my kids, I wrote down positive affirmations at each gestational age of the pregnancy. First, second, and third trimesters, I had different positive words. So I spoke these positive words every day, morning, afternoon, and night for 9 months. Because of my previous experiences of baby loss, there were times where fear spoke so loudly in my head during those pregnancies. And I just heard things like, what if you lose this one too? Rather than being afraid, I start speaking my words of affirmation to my baby, to my body, to my mind, and to every part of my body. These positive words became so much part of me until I carried full term and I became a mom. Number 4, take small deliberate steps towards confronting your fears, even if they are initially uncomfortable. Gradually exposing yourself to that thing you're scared of can help you maintain control and overcome your fear. If you face your fear, you might find out that it isn't really as scary as you thought. I'll give you a quick example. For someone who has the fear of swimming, the best way to confront that fear is to take swimming lessons. Tell yourself you can do it. And over time, with regular swimming and regular practice, you realize that you no longer have that fear that once held you bound for a long time. Finally, calm down. Take a deep breath, because you need a clear head to think. If fear has been sitting beside you, whispering doubt, or rehearsing any sort of disaster in your head, here's your reminder. You've already survived things you once thought would break you. You didn't break. You didn't just survive, you rebuilt. So maybe fear doesn't need to leave for you to move forward. Maybe it just needs to stop leading you. Just don't let fear lead you anymore. Take this episode as your permission to still show up, even when you feel unsure or uncertain. In episode, I'll be going a little bit deeper. I'll be talking about trusting yourself again. After betrayal, burnout, disappointment, or just years of second guessing your own wisdom. Because when fear loses its grip on you, trust then has a room to speak. So breathe with me. We're going to heal together as we journey through life. Thank you for your time today. If you like the content, please subscribe to Gorgeous POLA TV, where we bring Valuable life lessons that does not just nurture your heart, it protects your mind. Remember to share the link with your loved ones and family members and everyone in your network, as a matter of fact. So subscribe, share your thoughts in the comment section. Let's keep the dialogue and the conversations going. Let's keep building each other up. Until next time, take care and keep rising. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. It's gorgeous, POLA.